Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special train simulator driving tutorial video. I'm your host Paul Timon, except black. Today I am going to show you how to drive the Just Trains Class 313 diesel multiple unit. And hopefully by the end of this video, once we have gone through all the aspects of the train, you would have successfully qualified as a professional train driver. Anyway, let's begin. So here we are at London St Pancras International Train Station, where we will be firstly starting our journey from today. And here is our train that we will be driving. The Class 313 is a 3-car shunter produced by Siemens. The examples we're driving are the ones that were in service with Great Northern before they were replaced by Class 707 Electrostars. And as you can see, Siemens has clearly been produced on this livery. Anyway, let's jump into the controls of our train. Welcome to the cockpit. Please take a moment to have a look at the controls for this locomotive. There's a lot to learn, so please make sure you are paying attention at all times. As you can see on this speedometer here, this train has a top speed of 125 miles per hour. However, the train only goes that fast in case of emergencies. For example, in case a Class 91 fails on its way to Edinburgh. Even though the speedometers only read up to 90, the enhanced speed of these units has been kept top secret by the FBI. So please make sure you have taken that into consideration. This is the power handle. As you can see, it has 4 notches. But remember, these trains are camshaft controlled, which means always use full power. Which you should not do for that reason in particular. Always gradually make your way through each notch. This is the dead man's handle. Please note that you need to be dead and a man before you use it, so please check with your local medic. I have no idea! And this is the brake handle, which has 4 steps. Step 1 and 2 being the normal braking applications, and full service, where it sends a butler to your cabin offering you drinks and light refreshments. You cold, sir? Okay, the first thing to do is to switch the reverser into neutral, and to do this you must hold down F to pay respect to these trains as they are with Jesus now. As you do that, you can then successfully place the reverser into neutral. Okay, do not be alarmed, the sound you're hearing is a smoke alarm, which indicates that I have burnt my roast chicken. To cancel out this noise, press Q. Before we move, please also make sure that the head and marker lights are turned on. There, we are now ready to go. The final thing we need to do is set the GSMR, which should have turned itself on after the reverser was set to neutral. All you need to do now is to press the button on the top right, and then proceed to enter your credit card information. And once that's done, we should be ready to move. What the? Oh, Gary, wrong train! Apologies for that. It seems that the GSMR isn't actually functional in this train, so we'll give that a miss for today. Excellent. Now that we've gone through the controls, it's time to move. Make sure that the doors are closed, the DRA is off, and the reverser is set to forward. Lastly, press set reset to configure windows, and you should be off. By the way, we are driving on the Hammersmith and City line, and our top speed on this section is 60 miles per hour. It is a bit dark in these tunnels, but don't worry, we can assure you that there are no ghosts around in this area. Before you enter any of these stations ahead on this underground section, it is absolutely crucial that you stop your train just a few yards nearby and then blast your horn. This is an extra safety precaution put in place to keep passengers back as the train approaches. Once everyone has acknowledged the precaution, you can safely proceed onto the platform. Welcome to Drayton Park Station, and as you can see, a new type of power system is now present. This is where we will be switching the train's voltage to 750 volts DC third rail. Firstly, put the reverser back into neutral, and then press set reset. Then locate and press the 750 volt DC button, which has been labelled incorrectly. And finally, press and hold the set reset button. And as you can now see, the shoe is now touching the overhead third rail, meaning we can now proceed on with our journey. We are now at Finsbury Park Station, where you can change for services to many other mystical and magical places in England. If you also by any chance hear that annoying forklift sound, tell it to f*** off. Welcome to the second part of our driving tutorial, and now we're in a slightly different variant of the Class 323. These examples are used by Southern and primarily operate services on the Brighton Main Line. For today's service, we'll be driving this 12-car train to Littlehampton, calling at Clapham Junction, Hove and other stations to Littlehampton. As the controls in these units are identical to the last examples we drove, I won't go through them again, so you can proceed when you're ready. Oh dear, it seems that the train is struggling to move. Absolutely no problem. If this happens, simply decouple the front two units from the rear two units. And don't worry, it is completely normal to do this, as it does happen 90% of the time. However, be very sure of your actions, as there may be a chance that a dispatcher could get battered to death by angry passengers if this manoeuvre is performed. Remember that the top line speed for today is 20 miles per hour. Make sure the window wipers are on at all times when it isn't raining. We are now at Britain's least used station, Clapham Junction. Please note that on approaching the stop, there may be a little bit of lag. Make sure that your PC specs are compatible with this section of the route. Here are the recommended requirements. Failure to have any of these requirements may result in a blue screen. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, after 6 hours of driving, we have now just left Hove Station and are currently on our way down the West Coastway line to serve the final few stops before Littlehampton. And that has been our ride on the West Coastway line. That concludes today's driving guide for the Class 315 Adelante. All that's left to say is, congratulations! You have officially qualified as a professional train driver, and we really look forward to having you on board. However, this is a stupid idea.